You'll tell the examiner, I'm going to pop the hood, and you know you got to put your hand on that just to open it up. So the same. And the latches are here and on that side. So, okay. Going with the first one, you're going to do on the passenger side, 3 general hoses. This one, and this one. PMS, properly mounted secure. NCBB, not cracked, bent, or broken. ABC, abrasions for A, B is for bubbles, C is for cuts. Okay? You can add D for dry rot or frayed, but they just want ABC. Okay? And this is not a hose, so that's why I didn't point to it. This is a clamp to go on to it. So that's your 3 general hoses here. And you point to the clamp. You say that it's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds. Okay? Next thing you're going to go to is here. This is your alternator. It is PMS, properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, no missing hardware. That's in, no missing MH. Yeah. And you're gonna no missing hardware. Then you're gonna go to the belt. You see this part? You're gonna pull in the middle and say no more than 3/4 inch of plate. That's what they're talking about. When you're touching it, also you said properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no abrasion, bubbles, cuts, or frays, because this can fray on that belt that's right there. So then you point to, this is what they call the wires to it. You say properly mounted, secured. It is no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts on the wire. Follow it to the turbo. That's this. The turbo is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, no missing hardware, and no soot is coming from it. Then you tell them, I'm going to follow it all the way back to the turbo. Okay? Keep going back that way. You come on this side. And you see, this is your exhaust. Okay? So this is what we're talking about. All of this is properly mounted, secured. This is your brake exhaust. Not cracked, bent, or broken. This is the shield. This is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds, and the clamps are secure. And then no missing hardware. That's the only thing you have to say on this side. So now stop that video and then we're going to. So what I like to do is start with the coolant. How I know it's coolant is if you look at it, you can see that it has a color in here. And I say properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it is not leaking here or from this container, because it has liquid in it. So that's why you say it's not leaking. Okay? And no missing hardware. Then come to the side here. I'll let you video it. See how it says a minimum and maximum? Fill to the proper level between the min and the max. Okay? Now, the next thing you do is you follow the holes, which is right here. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The clamps are secured, no missing hardware, no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts. You can say dry rot and frayed. That's what I just do. I just overdo it. You can follow this pipe. If you look at it, it's gonna go from the coolant, and this is the water pump. That's how you know it's a water pump, because it's coming from the coolant. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds, because it has all these things, and it's no missing hardware. Okay? Next part, if you look at it, you can follow it all the way down. If you want to go to the power steering pump, you can, or you can start here with the power steering pump and follow. This is a hose and that is a hose. How you know it's a hose is going to follow all the way down to the power steering pump where you can't see. So that's why you have to point down there. So you can start with this, the power steering. It's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. And it is between the manufacturer's level of the coal and the field. This is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, or leaking. Then you touch the hose. You could do properly mounted, secure, no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts on this, dry rot or frayed. Then you say, I would follow it, this hose, all the way down, and you could say, this is gear driven. I know you can't see it, but just fake like I'm pointing. properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and the holes leading to it is properly mounted, secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. To the top, to this oil, you say it's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. I will pull it out, but on the test you don't have to pull it out. You're just telling them you will pull it out. I will pull it out, wipe it off, put it back in, and take it out to make sure it is filled to the manufacturer's level, which is between those hash marks. Okay? After you do this, you say your air compressor is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, and the wires are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. See what I'm saying? Next, you can take from here where the air compressor come to the hoses. These hoses are properly mounted, secured. This is what they mean. Not cracked, bent, or broken, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, because you don't want that to be cut. Okay? Then you follow this down to your gearbox. You don't have to talk about the drive shaft, but you have to talk about the gearbox. The gearbox is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds on here, the gearbox. Then you can go down to the steering linkage. That's what this whole thing is, from this, the pitman arm, all the way down to here. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, or illegal welds. This is the castle nut, and this is the cotter pin, and this rubber part here and here is the pushing. Pushing, there is no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, because that's made of rubber. This whole thing is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, or illegal welds, because this is metal. Next part, you're gonna follow it. You'll notice that this, it is look like it's one stacked on top of the other. That is called leaf springs. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's not shifted. You don't ever want to see this this top layer pushed off the top of here, because this, which is your U-bolt, it holds it together. They are properly mounted, secured, with a nut that's underneath here, not cracked, bent, or broken. I don't see any iron shavings to show that this has been shifted. You understand? This is the spring mount. You have one here, and you have the other spring mount down there. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds. Next, you will follow, you see this steering linkage. Now we're going to be talking about this. This is called the brake chamber. However, there is a hose for when you pressing on your brakes up here in order for to make this, control this. So you start with the hose. It's properly mounted, secured, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and no missing hardware, because this is the hardware for it. It's not missing. It's clamped correctly, so you won't burn up this wire. Okay? Next, this is the brake chamber with clamp. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no missing hardware. This, the pushing rod and the slack adjuster, they are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds. Next, you're gonna follow it, and I know they will have to like chalk the wheel so you can really see it, but you'll just have to bend
brake
down. This is the brake drum, and I know you can. I'm gonna let him get in there. For a brake drum, it's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds. Now, the reason why they don't want illegal welds on your tire area, because it can catch on fire, and it can catch on fire from it being cracked. Because if somebody welds something together, it's not a hole, and if you running this truck on heated pavement, it can cause it to heat up, and that's how some people's truck catch on fire. So that's why they say no illegal welds. Next part, if you can see, they have this brake pad right here. I'll let you scoot in there so you can get it. It is located right up in here. It is properly mounted and secured, not dangerously worn thin, or they say 1/4 inch. So that's not good. So they don't want it to be 1/4 inch, because once again, if it overheats, your tire can catch a fire, which can cause all of this, you know, to go. Now, when you're looking at, you pointing to both sides of the rim, I mean of the tire. This is rubber, so it is properly mounted, secured, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, dry rot, or frayed. And on top of the tire is not, it is evenly worn. See, it's not like you got a divot down here or something inside of it. And it has to be, because it is on the drive part here and here, these tires have to be 4 30-seconds, the tread depth inside of here. You can either check it with a gauge, or sometimes you can check it with a penny. You know what I'm saying? So that's for that. Next part, when you look at the whole tire, it is beaded to the rim of this. You don't see any, it's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Going to the rim, there's no legal wells. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. To touch each one of these lug nuts and say it's properly mounted and secured, I don't see any rust trails or shiny things to show that it may not be on there secure. Okay. Next, this is your hub seal. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. And I would check this hub seal. Some of them are clear. You're gonna see on the back tire. I would check this hub seal to make sure it has no milky substance. It is, and my rim, it is free of dirt or not dirt, but debris, oil, and grease. That's the only one that's DOG. Anything with your tires. And it's properly mounted, secure, and the oil inside of here for the tire is filled to the manufacturer's level. Okay. Also, the next thing you have to do is the valve stem. It is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and because air comes out of it, it is not leaking. And to do this one, I will get the tire gauge, put it inside of here, and you can find the PSI for the tires. It is on the tires. Let me show you. See, code 120 PSI. You can either find it here, or let's say it is hot outside or it's raining outside and you don't want to look around your tire to see what it is. You say, I will look at the manufacturer's book to find out the PSI for my tire. That's all you have to say for that. Now, that concludes that for everything that's on the truck, on this fuel tank and the catwalk. So that's what we're going to include in this video. First, you start with the mirror. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It is clean. This one is dirty, so they'll have to wipe it off before you do it. Because the main thing, they tell you make sure it's clean. Because the DOT pull you over, they automatically give you a ticket if this is clean. This is dirty, and especially if that's dirty, because when you're driving, those things have to be clean at all times. And it's no cracks, because a lot of times with these mirrors, if it's cracked, it make the object look different when you're looking back.
Throw it off a little bit.
So that's why it's free of any cracks. Next, you're going to open the door. It is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and able to open and close for the driver. That's very important. Once you open it, you also want to say this one is properly mounted and secured. Of course, you know they will have to secure it, but just fake, okay? And is able to open and close for me to exit in case of emergency or getting in and out of the vehicle. Now you got the rubber seal. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it won't have any leaks because you don't want it to rain inside.
Yeah.
Okay. And you say this is the same thing. The rubber around here is properly mounted, secured, no cracks, bent, or broken,
No leaks.
and no missing hallway and no leaks. Next, I'm going to close the door. And what you want to do is hold on to this because you always have to have 3 points of contact. The steps are properly mounted and secured and able to hold the weight of the driver. It is free of dirt, oil, or grease, because if you have any type of objects, because you don't want to injure yourself. So that's why it has to be free of that. Next, you have here your fuel tank. It is properly mounted, secured with the straps, and on here you can feel it. This is rubber. It keeps the metal from touching metal for it to overheat and cause a fire, because this is your fuel tank. So the metal is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and the rubber is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. Next, you don't open it on the test because they don't want any debris getting inside the tank. But for the cap, you say it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it has a rubber seal. Like whenever he show you, he gonna show you it's a rubber seal on the inside, and it is secured. Next, you have here. This is called the catwalk. You say, now mind you, you see how this is? This on a regular truck, it will be lifted up away from this because you want this to be free of any type of wire that's hanging, okay? So you just say properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and able for you to be able to walk on here if you had to, okay? Next, you're gonna have, this is your electric wire, and it is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's free of any leaks. Here is your glad hands here, but you can start here because he wants you to do both of them from here to here. Starting here, these are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, no missing hardware. So then you could just point to all of the lines, or you can go one by one if you desire, okay? You say that, you see this is a wire. It is properly mounted, secure. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. So you don't want any of this to be cut. And it is secured so that it doesn't get cut in between any of this when you're moving, okay? These are your glad hands. And this is a rubber grommet. It's like a rubber inside of here. You want to say no abrasions, bulges, or cut, but they are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and in the correct position. He got a phone call. So I'll go, you can pause it. So I'm gonna point to it before you. This is your drive shaft. You gotta be careful. It is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, or twisted. The reason why they say not twisted is because it can drop and then you'll lose the access to this trailer. This right here is the U-joint. It is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, or illegal welds. Same thing we did on the front tire, we have to do it on this tire. If you look down here, this is the brake chamber. I'll let your video on. The brake chamber. See, with clamp, it is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The hose is leading to it, no abrasions, bulges, or cut, properly mounted and secured, and not cracked, bent, or broken. Next part, this is the torque, or they call it the dog bone, because it looks like, you know, something the dog grab. It is properly mounted, secured, no illegal welds, not cracked, bent, or broken. This right here, same thing we did in the front when we was under the hood. This is the spring mount. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. See how this has the same thing as the leaf springs. These leaf springs are properly mounted, secured, not shifted, not cracked, bent, or broken, and these are U-joints as well. Not cracked, bent, or broken, properly mounted, secured, no missing hardware. And then this is the other spring mount, and then that is the shock absorber right here. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no illegal welds. Next, this is your mud flap. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's supposed to be 8 inches off of the ground, okay? Now, when we look up to this side, this is your headboard. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no missing rivets. And it's able to support the weight of the cargo, okay? Now, we're gonna go, we can start moving.